Well, hello all and welcome. Hope everything's doing well for you. I'd like to thank everybody. Well, I'd like to just thank you for being here with me. Simple as that. It's nice to see the number of people that tag along and listen to my mumblings and see what I'm doing and so on. I also want to thank everybody that commented. I do enjoy reading the comments, and I'd like to thank everybody, and I'm not going to make any apologies now, but I'd like to give Nigel a real big thanks with regards to informing me of what he thinks the problem was with the peas, or the problem is, and the problem with the cucumber plant. I'm not really that bothered about it. I was more wanting to kill curiosity than anything, because I've got other peas that are growing really well at the moment. They're somewhere well up and starting to flower, so I'm gonna looking at things. Looks like I'm gonna get a good harvest off those. And the cucumber in the greenhouse, well, that's only one plant. I mean, I'm giving more away than I'm using with cucumbers at the moment, so everything's big coming up roses, shall we say. And I also want to thank the eagle-eyed amongst you that noticed I did not put in my potato reveal. Now then, I'm going to try and explain, but you'll have to bear with me because I am not computer literate in any way really. It's, you know, if something's wrong, my answer to trying to cure it is turn it off and turn it on again. And if it doesn't work, then, well, I'm stuffed. I use a editing program called Filmora. It's part of the Wondershare programs. They do the video editing program. They also do photo enhancing software, and they do. There's quite a few things I believe they do. I think they even do a system whereby you can share a mass number of photos, but I'm not sure, but we're going off on something different there. But I use this Filmora. Now, when I started using it for my video editing, I think it was on Filmora 8, version 8. It's now up to, I think it's something like 13.2. Now, normally what I do is, like now, do this bit of video, upload it to my computer, and then maybe upload it to Filmora, start editing, save. Putting in, I generally always put in the end piece, hence why in the last video you saw totally uncensored, unedited end piece. And basically what happens is this Filmora sends me updates, tells me what's available, tells me latest version, hence the reason we're on 13.2. Now, when it sends these updates, I generally find this out when I first go back into it. So I probably haven't been on there for, say, a week more. I go in, all of a sudden it comes up and says there's an update. So I always hit the yes button for it to update, and it does its thing. Now, the only thing that I think is why you got a weird sort of video last week is because I'd started editing the video, and then X number of days later, when I'd gone back into it, it said there was an update. It's updated, but I didn't realise till a lot time, and we're talking days later, that it had saved the original video as under the same name, but it had put the date and then put copy behind it. And I'd gone in adding some more to it, but didn't save it, to put it bluntly. What has then happened is when I've gone to try, thinking I've got it all together, when I have to then, I don't totally understand this, but partly, I have to then export it from the Filmora editing program, to my computer. Now I can understand to a point that, because then I go from my computer to YouTube with update, or with uploading the video. What I tried to do, obviously tried to export it, and it would get up to about 60 or 70% and then just freeze and just would not go anywhere, nothing would happen, it just stopped. And I tried exporting that 5 or 6 times. Then, bearing in mind I've got 2 copies on the Filmora line, then I thought, well, I don't normally put a date and copy and all that on it, so I deleted all that, hit the export button, and it exported it. But me being the fool that I am, I didn't check it, hence you got that sort of, well, you didn't get the full video. You didn't get the potato reveal, you got that funny end bit, you didn't get me big thumbs up at the end. I've learnt from that. I now know that once I start and do the updates, and make sure that I check through the video before I export it. So I've learnt something from there. So needless to say, in this video, albeit a little late, there is a potato reveal. I've also been out and about. I've been to the Newport Agricultural Show. Now, last year I put quite a bit of video together from there for that. This year I'm not going to bore you so much with that. There's a little bit of video and there's some stills, so there's that to come. And another thing that I want to show you is with regards to something that you probably all do, and I'm probably the odd one out that never or hasn't done it for, well, I've never done it. And I want to show you what I'm doing with regards putting my beds to bed for the winter. I know we're in July and I'm talking about winter, but I've got certain beds here that I will not be putting anything in now until next spring. So I want to show you what I'm doing with them, how what I'm doing differently this year than what I've done in the past. So I'll stop waffling. Once again, thank you all. It really is great to have all these people with me on my mumblings and my journey through my allotment and greenhouses. So I'll shut up now and we'll crack on, and I'll show you what's going on. Well, I'm out in the garden. I've just cut the lawn. Wife's just asked me for some potatoes, and these are Rocket. They went in the 12th of the 4th. Today is 28th of the 6th. I haven't done any filming of these as yet, so I'll just spin you around so that you're looking over the barrow a bit better, and I'll show you what sort of harvest I'm getting. Right, let's have a look. See what we're getting out of these. Harvests haven't been too bad so far. Well, that's no good. That's another slugging straight away. Me and my mouth, eh? Harvests haven't been bad so far. These aren't too bad, I will admit. This is about the average of what we've been getting, to be perfectly honest. All quite clean potatoes. had no scab or anything, nothing there, nothing untoward. And there's the old original seed potato. Sounds like a Class 37 going past. Very nice. Yeah, this is turning out to be quite a good harvest. I don't think there's any more in here. Yeah. So there we go. See if you can see them. Yeah. I don't know what sort of weight, but I'm pleased with them. Not a bad little potato at all. I'm very pleased. Well, I've been round the allotment. I've been and sorted out some beds that wanted a bit of tidying up. I've removed with the cauliflower, I got all the roots out and just worked the bed over a little. And in the process, got myself a few harvests. Onions. These are Matrix spring onion. Very pleased with them. Bit more of a bulbing type onion, but I like spring onions full stop. Beans, French beans. Good pick of French beans. Broccoli, a bit of cauliflower. This is one of the side shoots. Now, a thing I've noticed this year more than anything else is you'll have the main crown and then there'll be side shoots already on there before you've cut this off. Whether that's the weather or what, I don't know, but that's one of the side shoots, so that's nice. And then we've harvested a few onions. These two, put them down. These two are sweet yellow Spanish. So I'll see what they're like when they've dried out and we start and peel some of the skins back. They don't look too bad. They have literally come out of the ground themselves. As you can see, tops are going a bit on them. Then I've just picked that one because that literally come out without any effort. That is a Redlander, never grown before. The sweet yellow Spanish I've not grown before. And then this is a Kelsey. I have got bigger round there, but I'm just starting to wonder if maybe, even though these tops are still relatively green, although they're dying back, but I'm just starting to wonder now if it's worth me probably picking the majority of my onions or lifting them and storing them. I can store them in the shed to dry, and then just leave the odd ones in that are real good firm tops to them, which there are a few. There's a dozen or more easy. So but yeah, I just thought I'd show you those little bit of a harvest that I've had from round on the allotment. Right, as you can see, I'm round here on the allotment. I was round yesterday. I've come round today because I've trimmed my little bit of embankment that I have to keep tidy. I also want to do a bit of watering because there's no sign of any rain. There was none yesterday. That's partly why I came round yesterday. I did one or two other bits of jobs, and the job I did yesterday, as you saw, was I was weeding through my onions and accidentally pulled one or two, or well, I'd say pulled, they literally fell out. So it got me thinking, how many more are at that stage and need coming out? I've got a bed of onions there and another bed over the other side, and they're a little chalk and cheese, the beds. The onions in here look like they're all finished and really do need coming out. The onions further over there are still quite firm necked, quite green, and yet they all went in together at the same time. So, you know, don't know what that really tells me. Means a bit of a spread of onions, really, I suppose. Longer use. So I'm gonna spin you round, well, take you off the tripod. I'm going to show you what I've got over here, and just pull one or two up, and then I'll show you the others and bring you back when I've got everything up that I plan on getting up. So let's have a tootle at the onions. Right, there we go, the onions. First row, they are Kelsey, the red are Redlander, and then the two rows at the back are the yellow sweet Spanish. This is one of the Kelseys that's come up, and I think that's going to go in the bin because it's a bit soft, so we'll get rid of that. There's a couple of red here that have come out. They're nice and firm, but they've come out as I've lifted weeds out. But that one can come out, and that's nice and firm. That's a good one. But that one, look, see, that's a firm neck and still plenty of green in there. Same with, we'll have that one out. I think we'll have that one out. But again, one of them sweet yellow Spanish, as you can see, quite firm. Again over there, quite firm. So these others here that, no, that's gone soft. So we'll have that out. We'll have that out. There's one or two along here, as you can see, still quite green and quite firm. So I'll clear this bed of what I think I can take out, leave the rest in and put the netting on, and we'll just go over there and have a look at the onions over there. Right, this is the other bed. This end here are the sweet yellow Spanish, and the Redlander in the middle, and the Kelsey over the other side. And as I say, some of these, that's rock solid. Yeah, some of them are still quite solid. So we'll only have some of them out. This looks like, oh yeah, that's rock hard. So let's have a look at these Kelsey. That's coming out. Oh yeah, they're quite hard. So again, I'm going to do the same with this bed. Just have a look through and take out what I think I need to take out now. The rest will stay put, and if they don't come out until another 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, that's fine. That's it's giving me a bit of a spread of harvest with the regards the onions, so I don't mind that at all. I'll bring you back when I've got all the onions up, and we'll have a little perusal through what I've got up. Right, as you can see over my shoulder, there's only a few onions left in there. These are all still quite hard necked, so I'm going to leave them. I'm putting the netting back. The netting has been there for allium fly, and I'm going to put the netting back. I don't know whether, I mean, today is the 26th of July. Are we going to get bothered with allium fly this time of year? I honestly don't know. But I'll just take you a walk over the other side. Little job you can see I've done here. I've had the one row of peas out. I've left them because there's some peas coming. There's quite a good patch of peas there, and there's pods forming on them. But then when we go up here, you can see why I'm not too bothered about those first two rows. I mean, just look at that for a row of peas. And there's flowers coming left, right and centre. Then there's some more in here to come through. So that's why I wasn't too bothered about the condition that they're in, because these were coming through and are doing fantastically. So let's just nip through here and I'll show you in here. Now, as you can see, let's go the other side because of the light. I don't really know which is the best. I've netted these, and over here, give you a better idea, I think. As you can see, there's hardly any come out of here. There's 50 onions in each bed. There isn't many onions come out of here, but the onions that have come out of here have got a far better root structure than the onions that were in that other bed. So maybe don't use that other bed next year. Might use another bed, maybe these two here, who knows. Right, let's spin you round and I'll show you with the onions. I'll show you what I was talking about. These are the onions that have come out from over there, and see the root structures compared to onions that have come from there. Still not too bad, some of them, but in general a lot better root structure. These are the red. These are I'm quite pleased with these. It's a nice size, they're all nice and firm. So I will get these all back home, and I've got some racking, some wire gauze that I can store these, so they can be stored like that, upside down, in the shed. So they'll get put in the shed. So yeah, that's first half, or first part of a onion harvest. And like I say, these here, I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks time when I come to get these up. It'll be nice to leave them and get them up a bit later. Look at that for a Kelsey. Wow. Hey, that's a good size, that. Cool. Right, that's that jobbed. Right, I've got a little bit of something a bit different for you now. As I said at the start of the video about visiting the Newport Agricultural Show, well, this is some stills and some video from the show. A little bit self-indulgent because I like vintage tractors, modern tractors and traction engines, farm equipment and so on. Just one big kid, I suppose. But yeah, it's all in there, and I put a bit of music to it. And while you watch that, I'm going to get and water these tomatoes and cucumbers here in the greenhouse. So sit back and enjoy. Thank you.
see what we've got. Oh, nice little can down there from Josh. Just easing our ways into it, maybe. We're getting ourselves ready for this little competition later. No foot can. Just kicking that like sideways in the air. So, if I pull over, have a little rest, get some ground now. See a switchblade there from Josh. So,
right, I'm round here on the allotment. I've got a little job that I'm going to do. Basically, what I'm going to do is start putting beds to bed for winter. Now, I know today is the 5th of August, and you might be thinking, is he on about putting beds to bed for winter? You know, this stuff you can be growing. Yes, quite right, there is. But with me, with regards winter crops, I've got some turnips down here. Just behind the camera I've got some sprouts, and then I've got some winter cabbage over the far side, and that is it. And what I've decided to do, and it's probably a job that you guys all do anyway, but what I'm going to do is, as I clear a bed out, I'm going to put some spent compost into it, a bit of fish blood and bone, a bit of pelletised chicken muck, something like that. Work that in, and then possibly later on, maybe next month, being September, I might then work in some fresh compost, or I may work in some of that bagged farmyard manure that you can get from garden centres, and just work that into the bed, then cover it up and leave it then for winter, and then come the start of next year basically do the same again early on in springtime, before I need the bed for growing anything in. So I'll stop waffling, we'll go over to the bed in question. Some of it I have cleared out already, but I'll show you what's what, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right, I've got the camera in my hand because I just want to show you. You will be going back on the tripod, so you'll be in very safe hands then. This is the bed I'm talking about. As you can see, there's a little bit of Calabrese. Well, I say Calabrese left. It's finished. It's all done. Up this end here was some cauliflowers, which I've got out and cleared the weeds, just forked it over. This end now needs the same treatment. So I'm not going to bore you to death and show you me clearing this out and so on, but I will show you what I'm going to do with regards putting some goodness into this ground once this lot is clear. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready. Well, as you can see, the net's off, hoops are off, the Calabrese is out. The Calabrese, the variety by the way, was called green Calabrese. Never heard of it before, never seen it anywhere before, and I thought, we'll give that a go. And I did some cauliflower in here. They were Andromeda. Again, new one to me, never done before. It's been worked over with my, I call it a cultivating hoe. I think Wolf call it a soil tiller, but I'm not sure. But I've gone over it. Yes, some of it's a bit dry, that end, but it's not going to matter. As I've said, I'm putting it to bed. So, with regards putting to bed, so what I've got here is I've got some compost from out of my potato buckets. Now it's supposed to go on the plot, not on your foot, Wayne. Oh, I don't know. Right, a bit more. And then I've got a little bit more, so I'm going to put as much of this on as possible. Just seen a little potato there, don't want to leave that in. Next year, I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking next year of using, I've got, as you can see, I've got onions over there, and I'm thinking of possibly using both of these next year for onions. That's my thinking out loud at the moment approach. Right, I'm not going to work this in too much, but I'm just going to work some of it in. You can see some of the grass from when I'd put on the top of the potato buckets. Another little seed potato there. Get rid of that. Yeah, you can see the grass from I'd put on top of the potato buckets, stop them drying out. Certainly works if you've never done that before. When you're growing potatoes in buckets, if you've got a lawn, and you cut the lawn and then put the grass cuttings over the top of your potatoes. It doesn't matter if they've come up or haven't yet come up, just put it on. It helps to retain the moisture. Right, now then, I have got here now, I've got in here a little bit of pelletised chicken muck. Just spread it about. As I say, I never used to do this, only until sort of, well, to be perfectly honest, I used to do it possibly about 2 or 3 weeks before I needed to use the plot. So, you know, if it was, like I've said about with putting, right, as you've just seen, that bit of filming has just stopped dead. I use a GoPro for about 99% of my filming, and for some unknown reason I heard it beep, which is what it does when you turn it on or off, and I went and looked at it, and on the display on the back it had got card error. Exactly what that is, I don't know. I just turned it off, took the card out, cleaned the card up, blew down the card slot in the camera, put it back together again, and what you're now going to see is me continuing on with where the camera went wobbly on me. Right, I've put compost onto the bed. I've put some pelletised chicken muck, that was a little bit of fish blood and bone. And again, not being particular in how I do this, I'm just going to work the ground over. So just to work this in just a little. As I say, I used to do this probably about a fortnight to 3 weeks before I wanted the ground for anything, which, to be honest, is just nuts really. So I've decided this year to make a real concerted effort to put some goodness into the beds, and then cover them up. I'll go and fetch the covering. I've got some black weed suppressant fabric here. I'm coming back, don't panic. Ours are coming. So what I'm now going to do is I've kept all the bricks and everything that covered up the or helped keep the netting down. If I need any more of this fabric, I have got some more. Put that on there. In fact, I think what I shall do is I think I'll get and sort myself out with a little bit more to go over this, but that is basically, let me just put one of these on here. I'll put another brick over there just to help to hold that down in place. There we go. That is basically it. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not happy with this covering, so I'll cut myself another piece and I'll bring this further over, and then I can put another piece over down that side. Need to cut them a bit longer, but you get the gist of what I'm doing. And as I say, I used to do this probably about a fortnight to 3 weeks before I needed the bed, and I've been a fool to myself. So, but I've decided now, make a good concerted effort to sort the beds out, put them to bed like this when they're finished, because I'm not going to be growing anything in them over winter. I've already said what I've got for winter. So this will be done. I will possibly next month either put some fresh compost to this, add some fresh compost to it, or some of that farmyard manure that you can get from garden centres. And then come early next year, well maybe February or March, yeah, probably February next year. I might add some more to it and maybe some more pelletised chicken muck just to put a little bit more into it. But that is it. That's basically what I'm doing with regards putting my beds to bed for the winter. As like with when them onions go, I'll do the same with that. I've got winter cabbage in here, I'll do the same with that, and so on. And as everything empties out, it'll get this sort of treatment. Well, that's it for this one. Thank you all very much for joining me and for watching. It really is very much appreciated. Little thing I've got to show you now. Earlier today is the 17th of August, and earlier today we nipped into or down onto our local retail park, and we nipped into Home Bargain, and we're wandering around having a look at stuff, and we suddenly come across this. Yes, that's right, Christmas decorations. Unbelievable. I thought, 17th of August and we've got Christmas decorations in the shops. They'll be selling Easter eggs at Christmas Eve at this rate. But anyway, as I say, thank you all very much for watching, for joining me. It really is appreciated. So be good, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra a bit.